Hi, this is a Minute of Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now, this week I want to talk about the benefits of automation. Okay, one of the most interesting things about the world we live in at the moment is that so much of it can be automated, right? So, like 10 years ago, I read this book by Dan Pink called A Whole New Mind, which was about the three big forces that were impacting our world, which were Asia, automation, and abundance. And the point is that if you don't differentiate yourself and make yourself special, then you could easily be out of a job. And that was something that I took to heart, back when I read it. So, in terms of automation, we try to automate as many things as we can with Overpass because we have a small team, but we still produce a lot. So the more we can set up and it just runs, where we don't have to do it all the time, the better. So automation really helps. Asia, if you know anything about Overpass, we do have developers in India and in the Philippines. So we try to use that as much as possible because we find some really good, talented people. Believe me, a lot of people who are not talented, but we find those few gems when we can. And abundance is something that you and I as app developers know all about. There's so much in the App Store. There's so much out there that we have to differentiate ourselves all the time. But this week I want to talk a bit more about automation. Just a few years ago, I wrote a script that runs 3 times a day that links to the App Annie API. And I talk a lot about App Annie, which is a really good resource for app developers. But if you're a developer and you know how to code and know how to script things, the API is awesome. Like, let me just show you this. This is the EarSpy page on our website. Now, every day it downloads into a database all the reviews on Amazon, on Google Play, on iTunes. So, if you have lots of apps, you know how hard it is to go out and check all these every day. So it will download them all into a database, and because I have this data, I display them all on the website, or I display the most recent ones. So if you go look at the EarSpy page here, we got the 4 and 5 star reviews are displayed prominently on the page. I also get an email from all the bad reviews, so it helps me keep appraised of everything that's going on without having to spend all the time that's required to go and check like I said, hundreds of apps and have to check all of them to see if there's been any new reviews or anything like that. So that's really helpful. And last week we just added a new feature to it, or 2 weeks ago, where we just download the stats, so the how much the revenue and the downloads and everything like that. And that was something that I thought, well, hell, we'll just throw up a Google chart onto the page and say, so you can see how many downloads we're actually getting. Some apps are like really good, as other ones are like, they need a bit of love and they need a bit of working. But the point is that this is something that I've done a long time ago, and it frees up a lot of my time. It's something that I could have I could have hired somebody to say, okay, I want you to compile a report for me every day, or I could have spent a day or two writing an automated process that goes into several places and brings in this data. I also have things that will go to, say, Google Wallet, to the iTunes Store and everything. It will tell me how much money I make every day, because sometimes it's hard to lose track of of where you are with that. I have automated processes that will go through and tell me, it will send me like a to-do list every day. And it used to be, like 10 years ago, it used to be really hard to automate things. I mean, it was easy because APIs were starting to show up in the early 2000s, and mashups and everything were really big. But it was you had to have like a server or leave your computer on all the time, and it could fall over, whatever. And now you got things like Google Script and Google Docs and everything. And you could write like a Google Script and have it triggered every day at 1 a.m. and perform all kinds of different tasks for you. It's pretty cool. A lot of our stuff's done in a lot of our automation's done in Google Script. Other parts of it are done in Node.js on a server. This is one of the really cool things about it. And I highly encourage you, if you're an app developer but you hire other people and you might know different languages, I highly encourage you to look at some of these APIs and really make some of this stuff start working for you. Because there's so much you can do. Now, unfortunately, as far as I know, I've not been able to find a good API to deal with the Google Play or with iTunes. iTunes does have an API, but really it's bringing everything in and just trying to automate as much tasks as you can. If you do something which is copy paste all the time, then knowing how to automate things, knowing how to use external APIs is really, it's not only not only saves you a lot of time, it's actually a lot of fun to do. So I highly encourage you to do that. Now I know. Again, it goes back to this whole new mind from all those years ago. One of the things when I read this book is I thought, I'm not going to be in that situation. I can remember working in an investment bank, and you look around, you see a lot of people who have the same kind of very specific jobs where they would say, their job was, every day at 9 a.m., open up this spreadsheet that gets FTP'd from somewhere, copy the values out, put it into another spreadsheet, run a calculation, take those calculation data out, copy it out, put it into another spreadsheet. And it was, eventually they learned that you could just go in and write like some code, some macros, or some VB script that would just go through and do that automatically. And it actually it freed those people up, but then it also got rid of a lot of people. So it's it's difficult as an app developer. We kind of have to try to do more with less. So my point this week, although it's kind of all over the place, is learn how to automate certain things. I hope after you watch this video, you'll look at the App Annie API. If you need any help with it, just let me know. I mean, it's really cool, the kind of stuff you could do. Like I could tell, each day, say, which app is outperforming others or whatever. Or I could, open up iTunes Connect and run through those reports. But because I have everything in a database, I can see a progression of how things are going, and I can start spot trends and things like that. So it's really, really cool. So that's it for this week. Check out automation. If you don't know how to write script, or JavaScript is my choice, but you can learn C# or any other different types of languages. But JavaScript seems to have, in my opinion, be more portable. Try to learn some of that, and maybe this week try to see if you can connect to one of these systems and download the data. It's actually really, really cool to do. So that's it. I'll talk to you next week. Hey, I really hope you liked that video. Now I do these once a week, so if you want to hear more, or you want to hear more about our experiences with the App Store, either Google Play or iTunes, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and please like this video and leave a comment. I love reading the comments. I love hearing what you have to say, even if it's just hello or whatever. And like I say before, if you're not sure what to say in a comment, like I never know what to say in a comment, I'll make it easier for you. Like if you liked it, just go ahead and say gnarly, which is an 80s term, or if you didn't like it, just say bogus, and if you didn't think any of it, just say right? So that would be a big help. And another thing you could do, which I'd really appreciate it, if you're on the App Store and you want to try one of our apps, look up some of the Overpass apps applications, either on iTunes or Google Play, and leave a review and let us know what you think about it, either good or bad. But it's we're all trying to build up in the market, so that would be a big help. So that's it. I'll talk to you next week.